Hi friends. Now let us take up the second concept in our concept zone using standard C library functions. Actually, any programming student should have clear understanding over standard functions, not only C language. In every programming language, hundreds, even thousands of ready-made functions are provided. As I told you already in the training session 1, I explained about standard libraries, functions, etc. and all that. And in order to get your subtask performed, then many ready-made functions are available. We have to call them and use. Just call them and use. Suppose you got a problem, electrical problem in your home. Then what you do? Simply call an electrician and explain the problem. Then he will do that. You got some plumbing problem. Just call the plumber. You want some security problem, call the policeman and they come and provide their services. In the same manner, in a programming also, in order to write a program or project, numerous services are required. Everything you have to do it on your own and all that. Programming is a uphill task, it's a big business and it's a big headache also, and there are big scope of errors. Suppose you take a chef who is preparing food for hundreds of people. So he is the main chef. In order to perform his main task, many assistants are there. Those assistants perform different subtasks like cutting vegetables, washing vegetables, cleaning vessels, and mixing items. Like that, different types of assistants are provided to the main chef. Because of the assistance of collective contribution of all those assistants, main chef is able to perform his main task well. The same analogy is applicable for programming. In programming, we, in order to achieve our main task, we require to perform many subtasks. Like just I list out, by that you can easily understand. Actually, that is reading data. Reading data means, already explained to you, when you are entering data from keyboard, program should take for reading. Writing data. Writing data means displaying output or whatever result on the monitor screen, that is writing. The clearing data. Clearing data means, suppose now I am writing on the board. This topic is over. Thereafter what I have to do? I have to use duster and clear it. So in the same manner in program also, one program is over. Then the output should be cleared in order to demonstrate the output of a second run or second program. That is clearing data. Thereafter, many mathematical functions are there. Calculating power, calculating square root, square root, and calculating sine, calculating cos. Like that, many mathematical functions are there. Now, and time-oriented functions are there. Now you see that many documents and all that exact time is printed in different formats and all that. In this way, hundreds of activities, 1,000+ activities, common activities are there. So, if you want to perform these activities on your own and all that, programming is a misery. So, you never make an attempt to study programming. That's why every programming language provides a big library. Big library, they go on, versions of many languages. Mainly, every version provides new functions. Add new functions like a librarian every time go on adding new books. Like that, new functions are added, and old functions, if their efficiencies are improved, that means modifications are done. So, in this manner, programming is made simplified. That's why everybody, this has become a easiest subject, according to me, among all application-oriented subjects, namely mechanical, civil, electronics, electricals, biotechnology, chemical engineering, all that, computer science, mainly programming, is the easiest one if you know the correct path. and correct address. Okay, that point you have to understand. Okay, now actually how is the structure? Suppose this is the C language. In C language, in order to write our program, several elements it provides. We need not do anything at all. Just we write. Now we have written main, we have written int, we have written float, like that. Whatever you write, you get it. But another part is there that is very core. This is the standard library. Standard library is not part of the C language. Okay, what I told you here, 1000 plus ready-made functions are there. 1000 plus ready-made functions are there. What for? In order to provide services to develop programs and projects. Okay, that's good. But it is not part of that. That's why one arrangement is made. And one more arrangement you have to. Here 1000 functions are there. How can you identify a particular function? Whether it is there or not, you do not know. That's why these are divided into groups depending on their functionality. Suppose these are 1000 plus, here maximum 50 header files are there. Each one is called header file. Header file means you understand like a almirah. In a library, one almirah is there, that all computer science books are there. And in that also, those are group. In computer science also, many groups are there. All that groups are there. These are like a header file. These are called, each almirah is called like a header file. For example, I show you the names of certain header files. stdio.h. Header files indication is the extension is h. This is standard input output header file. Okay, now we have to use printf for writing data on the monitor screen. We use scanf, reading data from keyboard. So all such functions are there in that. Around 50 functions are there in that. Suppose you are using math functions like sine, cos, tan, like power, square root, high part, like that you want to, all those mathematical functions, around 50 functions are stored here. Next, string. String means already I told you, nothing but text. String, text oriented many operations we perform. Here also 50 plus functions are there, and string.h. C type, actually like strings on single characters also we perform operation. We need to perform operations in our program. That is C type, that means character type dot h. Time oriented many operations we perform in advanced programs and projects. Time dot h. Actually, I told you the duster like job, that is conio dot h. Like that, around 50 header files are provided. In each header file, all the corresponding functions are stored. So, what is the mechanism provided? Actually, in every program, IO functions means printf, scanf we must use. That's why for every program, invariably, what we write? Include stdio.h. Actually, on the monitor screen, if you write, it should be erased if you want to show the next output. That's why one header file is include conio.h. All are in lowercase. Okay. So, because of that, clear screen function we use. Clear screen function, actually, if we are working on GDB online compiler, GDB online compiler does not allow clear screen function. However, you write for every program, you write include conio.h, and you write this also and comment it out. That means if you write this also, there is no impact at all. Otherwise, you ignore that. But one thing, if you want to work on other compilers, these are required. If you are working, initially we are working on GDB online compiler, but GDB online compiler does not support that. That's why in a header file, invariably write. But don't use that. After writing, without using means, you have to comment it out. Comment it out means you are making it as a comment. Then even though it is presented, it is not executed. That point you have to understand. In this manner, every program, first you write comment. After comment, whatever header files you write and all that, include header file, like this you write. This all together called the documentation section. Documentation section.